It's time to have a beer from this Urban Jungle range from Brewery. Let's check this beer out. Hey, welcome back to Views on Brews. I am Brendan and this is Osiris India Pale Ale and it's from Brewery. Check out the can design on this. It's from their Urban Jungle range that celebrates Brewery's adventurous side. Find your spirit animal with Urban Jungle. I just love the can design. It's absolutely brilliant. I love this range. They freshened up the range. They've got an artist. I'm going to do a bit of digging around at some stage and find out who's making all these designs because they're absolutely brilliant. Loving the new range that they've done. So I'm going to give you a bit of full disclosure here. So as I'm new to reviewing beers, I was a little bit surprised after reviewing one of Brews beers to receive some free beer from them, which is which is absolutely welcome and it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to get free beer, but I want to make it very clear that when I do beer reviews, I'm only giving my view, and other people might have different opinions, and so I always want to be able to be honest and be faithful to craft beer the way the craft beer community is. You have to speak up if something's not right. You have to be honest, and you have to give praise when brewers have made great beers, or even just when they're trying. A brewer online on Facebook the other day mentioned to me, he wasn't a brewer, he was actually part of a Facebook group, and he said, I tend to give breweries a year or two just to settle in before I have anything to say good or bad about their beers. And I kind of like that. I forget who said it, but I really like the idea of, craft breweries, microbreweries, they're organic. They're in the process of being made. They're not made, it's not all robotic. There are people there in breweries, they're making beer, and they don't want to make crap beer. They want to make the best that they can. And, there's so much going on in the background that I don't know about. And I have to give people a little bit of leeway. So I've decided when I do my beer reviews, if someone gives me a free beer, I'm going to be honest about it, but I'm always going to try and be constructive and give good, helpful, constructive criticism. I've been a chef for 30 years, and the last thing you need is people telling you, your food is rubbish. You need to know what could be improved. So constructive criticism is the way I'm going to go forward with my beer reviews. But I can tell you, I have never had this beer, so I don't know what it's going to be like. Thank you for sending me the beer, Brewery. That's absolutely brilliant. Osiris India Pale Ale. I'm waffling on an awful lot here, and I haven't even opened the can. But this is part of the Urban Jungle range. I'll give you the spiel on the back. I've read the top bit. This is a golden IPA, and I can tell you this is the first time I've even read this. It's a golden IPA with intense hop character. So one of the measures that I haven't read that first line. One of the measures that I'm going to be looking for is this a golden IPA with intense hop character? Because that's what it says on the tin. Anytime I open up a beer, whether I'm reviewing it for a video, for YouTube, or whether I'm just buying it or picking it up or looking at it at a shelf in a shop in the off license, if it says something on the side of the can or the bottle, then that's what I'm expecting when I purchase it. It's kind of like when you buy something in a restaurant on the menu, it says one thing, it has to be that when it comes out. So Our Osiris IPA is an audacious beer designed for the modern palate. Sweet nuttiness, that sounds interesting, comes from the malts and is balanced with citrus, floral, herbal and spicy notes from Citra hops, Equinox, Mosaic and Enigma hops. That's a lot of hops there. This is finished off with a generous dry hopping, so there should be a lot of tropical going on here to ensure bold tastes and aromas in abundance. Silky smooth body and beautifully complex, this IPA will revitalize your senses with a torrent of flavor. That is a big setup, I will say, because it's you know, you probably can't see this, but there's a whole paragraph there of telling you what you're going to get in this beer, and not a lot of breweries do that on their cans. So if you put that down on a can and it doesn't deliver, then you've missed the mark, let's say. And if it does deliver, that's incredible. Given the fact that craft beer is always changing. If you find this on a shelf and you don't find it in a fridge, and you put it on a shelf at home, you don't drink it for 2 weeks, the beer is evolving, the hops are changing, the malt character is melding with the hops, the hop character is volatilizing with the volatile hop oils that are in there. It just says get your head out of the sand at the bottom, which is interesting. Now, something that I've seen on their bottles of their core range, and they also seem to have it on their canned range, is I'll just move to the camera there and hopefully it's not out of focus, but I'll tell you what it says. It says hop, it's got a hop meter and a malt meter, and on the back the hop meter is up to 100%. So I'm given more information now. This is telling me this is 100% on the hop scale, but it's given me about a 30 to about 40% on the malty scale. So from that, I'm expecting, it's an IPA, not a pale ale. I'm expecting a slightly lighter shade of beer when this is poured out. Now, it may or may not be like that. Now, I've got the Glimmer here, and I have this beer just out of the fridge 10 minutes ago. When I got these beers, I put them straight in the fridge because I wanted to give them the best chance. But I did notice something on the back which was interesting. It says best served cold, but store in a dry, cool place. So if I get this beer and I take it home and I store it in a dry, cool place, that's different to serving it cold. And if I stored it for a length of time, the beer is going to change. That's just what happens with craft beer, with hoppy sort of oils. So that's interesting that it says store in a cool, dry place. I would have put on the back of this, now it's up to the brewery what they want to put, but I would have put store in a fridge, because if you store in a fridge, then you're going to preserve the volatile hop oils for longer, I would imagine. But anyway, that's by the by. I know that this was canned very recently. On the bottom it says best before May 21. We are July 20. So, you know, this is only 2 to 3 months. May, June, July. It's 2 months old, this beer. Let's give it a crack open. 440ml can. It's a big beer in the sense that it's not, you know, it's not a 4%er. It's 6.2%. So let's see what it looks like. And I can see already, I'm just going to move in there for you, that the malts are on the paler side with a bit of a nice, I'm going to pour it all in. Do you know what? I'm going to pour the whole lot in because it's such a nice glass. Malts are on the paler side with an orange amber hue to the beer. Very good carbonation. It's going a little bit, no, not crazy, but it's very vibrant carbonation. Small to medium bubbles on the top of the foam. I'm just waiting to see what they do. But yeah, cloudy. Almost looks like a Hefeweizen. If I didn't know better, I would say that looks similar to a Hefeweizen. Nice cloudy amber orange coloured beer. Let's have a little spin up of this, give it the Brendan spin, and then let's stick my nose in and see what I can get on the nose. Huge amounts of hops, which is great. I was hoping that the first thing that I would get was assaulted with tropical hops, and I have. Now it says on here, citrus, floral, herbal, spicy, sweet nuttiness. Yeah, citrus, herbal, floral, and spicy notes from Citra, Equinox, Mosaic, and Enigma hops. You know, that is, and then it says dry hopped to ensure bold tastes of aromas in abundance. So it's delivering on that. I like that. The head is a little bit unstable, but I think it's just a case of me spinning it up. Perfect, absolutely lovely. Without sticking my nose in it, let's see what I can get on the nose. Definitely get herbal straight away. I'm getting citrus, which is to be expected, pretty obvious. I get the faint, I don't know what it is about myself, but if citra hops are in a beer, I always can pick out lychee. I don't know if anyone else can do that or if everyone else does that, but that's what I get. It is floral, it is herbal, and I think it does say that actually as well. Floral, herbal. Do I get spicy? I don't know if I get spicy on the nose anyway. Beautiful floral, herbal, citrus on the nose. Anyway, cheers, sláinte, all that good stuff, and cheers to you if you're joining along with a beer. I've spun this up. I must get out of the habit of spinning up these beers too much on the aroma, because I think what I'm doing is I'm killing half the carbonation before I've even drunk it. So I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm not gonna say anything about the carbonation because I think it's actually fine. The head on it is actually fine. It's me spinning it up a bit too much. The flavors now. The flavors of the hops are herbal, citrus, floral, almost like a not minty, but a herbal sort of pine, but very subdued. Maybe a bit of stone fruit. I think there's so many flavors that it's hard to pick them all out. You know, when you add enough hops together, you just get a general package of tropical, very bright, but it's almost like a tropical fruit salad of hops. Well, that's what I'm getting here. And it's lovely. It's really nice. There's a nice sort of like very, very intriguing herbal element to this, but it's not like pungently herbal. It's like, it's fragrant is the way I would put it. Absolutely lovely, beautiful hops in there. I'm not going to try and pick them apart too much because there's so much going on. Anytime you put Mosaic in as one of your hops, Mosaic is a foolproof hop for home brewers. It just does everything. So you're getting bits of citrus, bits of pine, bits of herbal, bits of spice, bits of berries, bits of grapefruit, bits of absolutely everything, and then you throw in on top of that Citra, Equinox, and Enigma, and it's just a melange of hops all together. I love it. I love the bright orange color to the beer. I don't know what the story is with the head, if I'm killing the head, or maybe I should have dusted out this glass a bit, or if there needs to be a bit more stability in it. It's fizzing quite a lot, the head. Very orangey. I'm getting sort of like a tropical fruit juice sort of thing, but not so much as in the Nipa range. It is an IPA, but it is a dry hopped IPA, and it does say generous dry hopping. Do I get sweet nuttiness from this beer? I don't know how you get a nuttiness from this beer. I feel that sometimes we use adjectives like, or I think we might say it's an adjective, nuttiness. You could argue that, but it wouldn't be the first thing that would pop into my mind. Sweet, a little bit, yeah. In fact, a decent amount of sweet in the tropical fruit juice sweetness range. I don't know if it's nutty at all. But if someone told me there's a bit of nuttiness in there, I certainly wouldn't argue at all. A torrent of flavour, it is a torrent of flavour. Now, they put themselves out there by putting that amount of detail on the back of what to expect. I think they've delivered on it very well. Yeah, there's a bit of like pine, but like young pine, very, very delicate pine, not resinous pine in any sense. Not a huge bittered beer, but there's a tiny bit of bitterness perception, and that's because of the amount of dry hopping that's gone on in there. A nice medium mouthfeel to the beer. I like it. I like this beer a lot. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just going to say nice six. It hides the 6.2% very well, I should say. This is the first that I've tried. Thank you, Brewery, for sending me these beers. That's my honest opinion. I will always give my honest opinion. I stored it in a fridge. I don't know about storing it in a cold, dry place, but hey, if it's cold, well, cool, dry place. Cool, dry place sounds fair enough to me. You know, it's picking hairs. Is it hoppy 100%? Yes. Is it malty 40%? Yes. Do I like it? Yeah. That's my view on this brew. And I think it's on to the next one. So I'm going to shove this beer in front of the lens and say goodbye.